This is our second tape on the Chicago Zephyr trip to San Francisco.
And you won't even use that.
And we...
But you're watching.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that does a train the other way. We're passing a train, Grandpa.
Is it?
Wow.
You see past the train or just the train?
I thought we got back up to the same thing though.
That's true. But one thing they knew as they climbed once again to the back of Mr.
Okay, well you got good friends up there. They know they'll take care of you.
Look at the little river that's trying to
And
start
Bryce will
itself in
miss
the
the rental
sea.
school.
Oh
You
yeah.
may miss the rental school, but...
And another one.
Oh, really?
You can just see like drainage. Yeah.
Okay.
Check it out?
Here's our.
I didn't find our baggage, though.
Here's our.
Underneath.
Going by mighty fast on the Zephyr here. Okay, we're still in Iowa. May 17th, 2005.
I think I love you next. It's even noon. Hey.
Yeah, make calls.
What?
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Look, Mommy's off the train, Decker. There's Mommy and Campbell.
No se preocupe.
You see him, Kathy?
Yes, you are released. Yes.
Wish I'd known. I would have gotten on the train too.
Bye-bye.
That's probably why she called us.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
A simple request from my mother startled me. Her rules were bending. She was losing her battle.
So we're...
For the summer, I don't want to lose you. But thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here.
It hasn't been called yet. We'll hear it back here. Whatever that super coat you had. Oh, excuse me.
Thank you.
That's a union rule, I guess.
We have the 715 seating. Daddy sitting with some other people.
That's great.
Comes the sunset back, Campbell. Look. There's the sunset. Wow. There's the sunset. Oh my God. Here we are in the dining car. Okay.
Great.
Okay. Hey, look, we're in the sleeping compartment. Look at this. And look, here's a top bunk here. I bet Aunt Katie's going to sleep up there. And I bet Campbell's going to sleep right there. Look at that. Okay, here we go. Here's the rocking stadium.
Yeah, you're going to have breakfast in a while. We're going to save this. This is going to be Decker's breakfast later on, okay? You're about to eat breakfast in our dining room. I'm going to keep baby while y'all go eat. I already ate juice.
Ben, look at that. Okay, get that.
car. You must exit the train from either one of the two sleepers or, in this case, one of the three coaches. The correct mountain daylight savings time.
We're breakfast and dinner.
Shoes must be worn when leaving your coach seat.
The mountains! Where's my camera? Where's my camera? My camera!
Oh, really? It's very, very pretty here.
It's
Except on the
Denver.
train for a minute. It's not really cold or anything. It's sunny. Bright and sunny. Feel a little cloudy.
Fine, Daddy.
That's how they're having to do estimates to get altitude and stuff.
There's Grandpa.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. Yep, we do. And then Provo, then Salt Lake. Then
That's our road
Reno.
down there.
So that's the general direction. Middle of the night, late tonight, I guess, like 11 o'clock. Yeah. No. Possibly you might wake up with my brother. We're actually work by the time we get there, so. Okay, and then I'll get him. He just needs attention. He needs diaper attention.
What's it on the floor? Maybe right here? I can read it.
Hey, Campbell?
You can sit right here.
This is really neat. Isn't this neat? Hey, Campbell. Look at that setup, y'all. Look at this ranch, would you? Wow.
Very soft.
Yeah, 2 engines. Working hard. Oh, this is incredible. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't it pretty, Grandpa?
Uh-huh.
And Campbell's watching. What else? Dumbo. Her favorite movie. We just went in a tunnel. We're in a tunnel. Isn't this exciting?
In Rocky Flats.
I don't know. Is it part of Hawaii? Maybe.
I think that looks like it's probably Rocky Flats right there.
There's some deer
Where,
right
Kathy?
over there on that hill.
Oh, okay. Campbell, there's some deer up here.
I guess those are real deer.
Yeah. I don't.
Okay, that was a experience, I'm sure. You're a good problem.
They have changing tables on the back of those.
We just came out of a
Hey, Campbell,
tunnel.
look at the tunnels up here. We're going to go through 30 tunnels in 30 minutes. Do you want me to pause the movie so you can watch the tunnels?
Look, here we go into a tunnel. Look, where we're gonna go. Wow.
Sorry. Here you go.
Hey, hey.
So they're not, yeah, curious reaction.
It's rainy.
From this point on the train, you can see approximately 1/4 of the state of Colorado.
1/4 of the state. Another tunnel.
Those peaks rise to an elevation in excess of 14,000 to 15,000 feet above sea level.
Wow.
And the bottom tunnel will be going to approximately 30 tunnels. The longest which will be 6.2 miles, the shortest of which will be 85 feet.
Here we go.
On the right side of the train, very large dam. The dam's approximately 400 feet tall. The city of Denver and the surrounding metropolitan Denver area. The reservoir will come into view, and then the creek itself will be approximately 1,800 feet below track level. And it will quickly change from the right side of the train to the left side of the train. Please be respectful of our other passengers on board who don't smoke, or otherwise we're trying not to smoke. And please do not smoke anywhere on the train. Thank you.
Here we go.
We're going to pass it.
Look at the man in the front. There's the dam. It holds back the water for Denver and all the surrounding area. Right there.
Over there.
Right there.
That's why.
You see that big sticky picture? So that 2 seats down there, 3 down there. Sure.
Yeah.
That's Timothy the Mouse, and that's a rope.
Is that a train track? Maybe not. Must not be.
Boulder River, Boulder Creek.
Rushing water.
Well, they cut a wire on it, and they'll tighten it once, and then I wonder if anyone railroad tracks.
Oh, that's great. The train's going in the tunnel. Look, look, Decker. Look. Here we go. I don't have to say it. I just have to let it go into the tunnel.
I'm gonna be 7.
Water again. The water's back.
26. 26.
These must be rental cabins, right?
Here's 27. Let me do it.
Not yet.
How's that?
A couple hours. At Denver, we've been about 1,000 miles, and we had 1,400 to go.
Hey. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
These are all
You're so serious. You're so serious. At stage stop. Rollersville. Rollins Pass. Okay. We're in Rollins Pass. Is this where the dump? Look at the snow. Are you sitting out there?
More? You got more? It's smooth.
Here comes Ho-Ho. Ho-Ho's back.
It's our exercise for the day.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in our adventure coming to South Boulder Canyon here, we have reached Dolan, Colorado. You're going to see a schoolhouse off to the forward right side of the train. The schoolhouse was originally constructed for the people who built the Moffat Tunnel. Yes, they're children. Unfortunately, they never could figure a way to keep it warm enough, so it was never occupied by the school kids. We're 10 minutes away from going underneath the Continental Divide through a 6.2-mile long tunnel. Once we enter that tunnel, yes, that'll be the next tunnel we enter. It'll be very dark outside. We want each and every passenger to remain in whatever car you happen to be in. There's been a lot of freight trains that have went through this tunnel. Once you open those upper end...
After we exit the tunnel, we go in the tunnel in 10 minutes. The Moffat Tunnel, the exit will be at the what? Winter Park. Winter Park.
It doesn't make much difference.
But the tunnel's going to be a little over 6 miles long. We'll be in it about 12 to 15 minutes.
So everybody heard that? Yeah. We're going to try a long tunnel.
I won't worry you if you don't want to know. That's where the old rail line used to go. They used to have to come up and they made a line and up and around.
And it would go very little tunnel or no tunnels at all. Huh?
Right, right. Very little tunnel. That was where they had the steam engines.
Yes.
And then they did the Moffat Tunnel. I think in early 1900s. I can't remember the exact date it's on.
Well, thank you. I thought that might be a highway up there.
Yeah, no, it is a four-wheel drive road now, but it used to have the tracks. And the best is yet to come. And this is the good side to be on when we go there. Oh, you're going to have another long trip.
Yes. We started, well, actually, we started in line.
What
That's
line?
where the line took off before the tunnel. Before the tunnel.
Okay, before the Moffat Tunnel. That's where the line took off.
Yeah, we should be coming to we'll see if you can unless they tore them down.
She did it. She has gray hair. It's my birthmark.
Shacks were
Okay. Get ready at the end of the tunnel. It's going to be 6.2 miles. They're going to tell Campbell. I guess it won't matter because she's going to be watching her
We're going a
video.
long tunnel here, Campbell.
Okay.
No, I can't believe how little snow there is.
We at Winter Park. This is Winter Park.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever skied here?
I have not. Wouldn't you have thought there would be a lot of snow still? Yeah, would have thought so. Look at that cloud. That's pretty cool.
That's cloud, isn't it? It's given that shape by the mountain.
So we're in Winter Park.
Darn, it flashed again.
She said that.
Look at the snow.
Isn't it
See the
pretty?
Snow? How about that? Snow
What is up with the
in May.
Look at those over there. Wow.
What is up, Mommy? What is that? All the way up. All the glasses.
I see a helicopter.
And a neat thing in the train.
That's the engine. Engine. There's a Safeway. Look at this. Look at how pretty that is.
I know him.
Those mountains over there.
Well, they're going to work the pressure when the park goes up.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the next one back.
Mama, take a picture.
Chilly. You see anyone walking around out there? And what they're wearing?
Whatever.
The last person I saw was in a down coat, but that's been on the other side of the path.
She was half brothers. Well, who is it?
There's one. He looks pretty bundled up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this station stop right now is Winter Park. Actually, Frank's for Amtrak stops from the Winter Park ski area that we passed a little while ago. This is just going to be a very brief stop. Only one person getting off the train here. Reportedly 2 people getting on, and then we'll be on our way. Running about a half hour late at this point, so we're going to try to make up some time here. If your destination is not Winter Park, please do not come down the stairs to the middle of your car. You only go to block the aisle.
Right, you said don't get off. Not let anyone off. We're a half hour late.
Hey, Campbell, how would you like
You
to
did
live?
wear that when you were a baby. Do you remember wearing it?
She saw pictures, maybe. How would you like to live in this town, Campbell? Look out here.
I remember little Bryson in that more than anybody.
That's a tennis court.
Andy McDuffie gave that to little Bryson for a
I
baby
like it.
gift.
How would you
That's
like
you.
to live here, Campbell?
It's you. Here, hold, put it on like this. You'll wear mine in ours. Want to get your picture with it. Scarf if you want to.
In the outside.
Look at a little stream right here. We're going over it.
Look at meanders.
Ladies and gentlemen, any attention please. This is Monty in the Cafe Lounge. The Cafe Lounge car remains open and serving in a lower level of the scenic Sightseer Lounge car. Also, ladies and gentlemen, this time I will be showing some children's movie features in a lower level of the cafe.
As it melts, okay? Just get it one piece at a time so don't waste it. We've wasted this, okay?
Are those ski runs there?
Yep.
Big mouth.
Why don't I pour some in here and you can do one at a time? Okay?
Oh,
Hold it, come on, hold it, come on.
There you go.
See the fisherman? It's good to wave at trains. Hey, look at the Canadian geese stand there. What day is your birthday, Campbell? I'm going to get it on video.
June 27th.
June 27th. What day is Mama's birthday?
For my birthday.
The day after your birthday. Very good. Very good.
She might know what comes after 27.
What number is it?
After 27?
Somebody jump in the river. 4.
Let's try 25, 26, 27. Yeah, 28.
Good job. 28 is Mommy's birthday.
Mercy.
West instead.
I got like a pushing. I got like an auto train.
Oh, that's another state that lost their passenger traffic.
I guess 6 months ago, and Meg said, "Oh, wouldn't little Campbell like that?" And so that's what got us thinking.
All right.
Actually, she's been spending more time
Watching Dumbo.
watching
Oh, well,
watching
natural.
movies and stuff.
Natural.
It's worked out real well for
Oh,
us.
good. Good.
So far.
Fraser Creek here. We're coming into Granby, Colorado. Granby will be a very brief stop. We're going to stop there, let a couple folks on, and then we'll be heading over to Glenwood Springs. If Granby is your final destination at this time, return to when our train comes to a complete stop at our Granby station, go to the center lower level portion of your car for any training. Please watch your step while this training. We'd like to thank you for traveling with Amtrak. Granby, Colorado, coming up in about 4 minutes. And I apologize. It's not fair to you.
Look at the lumber yard here. Wow.
Log houses. Coming up. What's in that jar?
Leaving Granby.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that last station stop was Granby, Colorado. Granby is Amtrak's stop for Rocky Mountain National Park and Grand Lake, two popular resort areas located about 10 miles to the north of the station stop at Granby. Granby sits at an elevation of 7,935 feet above sea level. When we joined up with the Rio Grande Railroad at Denver, we were at, the Mile High City, so called because in many places it is literally 5,280 feet above sea level, though where we were at Denver Union Station was closer to 5,100 feet. So we climbed from that elevation to 9,239 feet at the Continental Divide inside the Moffat Tunnel that we went through over a half hour ago. That tunnel representing the highest point attained not only by the California Zephyr, but by any train on the nationwide Amtrak system. And now leaving Granby, we're at 7,935 feet, so we've dropped down some. And as a matter of fact, most of the rest of the afternoon, we're going to continue to drop in elevation, ultimately dropping below the level of Mile High Denver before we start to climb again. We're dropping down what is known as Colorado's western slope, sort of the gentle backside of the Rocky Mountains. But just because the elevation goes downhill doesn't mean the scenery is going to go downhill. Oh my no. Just before we reached Granby, we traveled through the canyon of the Fraser River, which is an upstream tributary of no less than the Colorado River. And momentarily on the right side of the train, you will see your first glimpse of the Colorado River, which we will follow for the ensuing 238 pleasure-filled miles. All the rest of the way down Colorado's western slope, and a little ways into the state of Utah beyond that before we climb out of the valley of the Colorado River and head into the interior of the Beehive state of Utah. This river is one of the half a dozen or so longest in the United States. It originates at Grand Lake, about 10 miles north of here, winds its way down the western slope of Colorado through a half a dozen spectacular canyons, and then once it gets into Utah, it makes a sharp turn heading in a southwesterly direction. And in southern Utah, it is joined by its principal tributary, the Green River, a river which we will cross this evening at the town of Green River, Utah. And from there southward, it becomes the raging torrent that has carved out the fabulous Grand Canyon of Arizona, one of the most famous natural wonders of the world, before becoming the border between Arizona and California, passing briefly into Mexico and then dumping out into the Gulf of California, whose waters communicate with those of the Pacific Ocean. Now, obviously, we are not going to be detouring down to Arizona to see the Grand Canyon, but in the course of our travels down the western slope today, we will travel through a half a dozen mighty Grand Canyons indeed, which the Colorado River has carved out here in the state of Colorado, some of which are accessible not by roads, not even by pathways, only by the railroad, and where the tumultuousness of the river permits by rafters and kayakers. And hopefully we'll see some of those unique characters as we proceed down the river. Keep your eye open for rafters and kayakers who constitute just some of the wilder wildlife on the river. We'll try to point out some of these canyons and some of what makes them especially scenic and famous. Our first Colorado River Canyon coming up shortly will be the Byers Canyon, right after we pass through the town of Hot Sulphur Springs. You're watching at the right side of the train from the Hot Springs Mineral Resort. The town will be at the left, and then we will enter the canyon. I'll tell you a little bit about this as we head down Colorado's western slope along the Colorado River, here on the route of Amtrak's California Zephyr.
It wasn't brought down by floods. They were very nicely placed there.
They were, weren't they?
That's pretty clever. That's a new one on this. Without getting swift, because sometimes the current is pretty swift.
Yeah.
That's just my guess.
That would be a pretty darn good humper, right?
Yeah.
Maybe one day I could do it.
Yeah, I quit now. No more.
She has it like right here.
I like this.
You want a real picture?
No. Okay, sure. For now. Okay, you're going to see the bear. I gotta take a picture of the pup. I'm Cassie. I'm Cassie.
There's the warning system.
I mean to get in the way.
As we came in and out of Denver Union Station, and where it's joined by Cherry Creek, where the gold was first discovered, is about a mile north of there. This discovery stimulated the Pikes Peak or Bust Gold Rush of 1859. 10 years after the more famous California Gold Rush of 1849, and the Pikes Peak or Bust Gold Rush resulted in the establishment of the city of Denver. Along with those who came rushing into the new gold mining district in 1859 was William Byers, who came from Omaha, Nebraska in a wagon that was loaded not with mining equipment, but rather with a printing press. And when he arrived in the newly minted city of Denver, he set up his press, began blowing some ink and paper through it, and started to crank out Colorado's first newspaper, the Rocky Mountain News. Still reporting the news of the Intermountain West and of the greater world after over 140 years. Colorado River Canyons, known collectively as the Gore Canyon System. And I will describe the Gore Canyons when we reach there in just a little bit.
But I'd give it to her when I was finished with my term. And not over finishing
There's you'll find named after Paul. Extra dangerous. Right there. Go to the other side.
Now the tunnel.
There's another tunnel.
In and out, in and out.
An area of high country meadows and natural pasturage surrounded on all sides by mountains, specifically by the main range of the Colorado Rocky Mountains down to the east of us, and the Gore Mountain range that we are now traveling through via the aforementioned Gore Canyon system. It is actually a sequence of several canyons end-to-end along the Colorado River, by means of which the river and the railroad following it breach the Gore Mountains, so that the river can carry meltwater from the Rocky Mountains through these mountains, down the western slope, and on towards Pacific Tidewater. The Gore Canyon, part of the Gore Canyon we're in now, is the first of this sequence of canyons, which will take us about 15 or 20 minutes to go through all together. This is Upper Gore Canyon. Upper Gore Canyon has been deemed by various people to be one of the most scenic and rugged little canyons in the entire western United States. In places, the rock walls tower as much as 1,500 feet above the railroad and the river just below us. That's equivalent to the height of Chicago's Sears Tower, the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. But in places, the canyon is also very narrow, being as little in some places as just 100 feet wide. Aesthetically and geologically, the Gore Canyon is distinctly different from the general run of Colorado River canyons. When you think of canyons in the Colorado, of course, the first that come to mind is naturally the Grand Canyon of Arizona, which is simply the largest and most spectacular example of sedimentary rock canyons, canyons featuring sandstone, feldspar, other mineral to do with the erosion of and creation of this canyon. Basically, it's just been the action of the Colorado River itself, tirelessly, patiently, persistently, over zillions and zillions of years, wearing a deep, narrow slot through these mountains to carry the meltwater of the Rocky Mountains westward to the Pacific Ocean.
I did, I would say.
Always over every time. See, I saw him. This guy's going.
Stick your tongue out of grandma.
There's all that stuff. Hi. 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 Oh. Oh.
Outstrip this. Like you gone any place you didn't like. A trip you didn't. Shooting an arrow down.
Oh boy.
Almost looks like it could be done.
Yeah.
Look at the front of the train. You can see the front of the train, the two engines.
I wondered if they were going to put extra power on, but they didn't. They just got the same engine.
But boy, those cold trains must really take some power.
Yeah, I think of those through
This is really neat.
N and W, all north of your area, you know, coming out of the
Some rattlesnakes and some moccasins around the water, but I really have never. We had more in North Georgia. I've never.
I would say about 3.5 to 4 hours.
Not bad.
Isn't this pretty? Isn't this pretty? Here we go. Hi, Ducker Man.
Smile for the camera, smile. Play with the camera, whatever works, you know.
Hi, buddy boy.
Can you really focus
Look at
that
that.
close?
Yeah. I can't, but the camera can. Wonderful camera. Hi, Ducker Man. Oh, he's showing me the lid. Yeah. Showing me the lid. Hi there, man. Uh-oh. Don't think you should yank it. Uh-oh. I see your fingerprint. Maybe, let's see if I can cut it off now.
And when they saw this river, they saw it when it was very reddish with all the sediment in it, so they named it Colorado from a colloquial expression in Spanish meaning colored, colorful, or specifically the color red. Thus it is that we are following the colored red river, the Colorado River, which we just followed through the Red Canyon.
Uh-oh, can you pick that up for Grandpa? He dropped his bottle.
Yeah, I'll get it.
I know.
Well, there's a nice little mountain of tires.
Colorado River. It is funny how the other water's so green compared to the
Well,
red
that's a
Colorado.
little embayment, a lake there. But it sure is green, isn't it?
Cerro. And in a few minutes, we'll be entering our next Colorado River Canyon. That will be the Glenwood Canyon. If you're looking at the left side of the train, you see tracks coming up to meet us. Or actually, we're coming to meet them more properly as we join up with the Tennessee Pass Royal Gorge route of the Rio Grande Railroad. And this speaks to the rather convoluted history of the routes that we're traveling on. As you know, Amtrak doesn't actually own the track we travel on here. We travel on the private railroad companies, freight railroads. From Chicago to Denver, we traveled on the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Company railroad line. Burlington Northern Santa Fe, the result of a huge merger in 1995 between the Topeka and Santa Fe Railroad and the Burlington Northern. The Burlington Northern, in turn, the result of one of the earliest mega mergers in railroading that occurred in 1970 among four major western railroads. And from Chicago to Denver, we traveled on the east-west main line of the oldest of those Burlington Northern merger partners, the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy. The route that we take from Denver to Salt Lake City is even a little more complex, corporately speaking. Yes, today it's owned by the Union Pacific System, and earlier it was the Rio Grande. But actually, it's an amalgamation of routes that were operated by two different railroads, the Denver Northwestern and Pacific, otherwise known as the Moffett Road, and the Denver and Rio Grande Western. We were on tracks on the Moffett Road from Denver as far as a place called Bond, Colorado, that we passed through about an hour ago. The Moffett Road was an attempt by David Moffett, who 100 years ago was the wealthiest citizen of Colorado, to build a railroad line on a direct railroad route from Denver westward to Salt Lake City through the Rockies, not around them. Moffett was not completely successful in this venture, which cost much more than his own personal fortune, huge as it was, could stand. The railroad only reached Craig, a coal mining town in distant northwestern Colorado. By the time it got there in 1912, David Moffett had been over 1 year in his grave. He was already an elderly man when construction of the railroad began back in 1902. And in the various hardships involved in building it, and his financial difficulties took a terrible toll on his life, on his health, and ultimately on his life. The Detroit Rio Grande
Black truck. There's another truck.
River.
And a car. A police car.
Okay. We've been on that road before.
There's a biker.
Oh, there's
Yes.
a biker right there.
Right. He's not going as fast as you would be going.
I don't know.
Look at, they've got the bike under the interstate. That's interesting. I hope he comes back under eventually and has some scenery. Yes, he does, right here. Isn't that neat? What about that for a bike hiking
Biker
trail?
can go right through there. That's what she's saying there.
Anyone that would like to have lunch, please make your way to the dining car at this time. And upon entering, please wait to be seated down the diner with staff. Our dining car will be open for lunch services shortly.
Yeah.
Honestly, Steph, I will be back.
Pylons to carry it straight across.
Well, gas is so expensive.
That's a car. That's a car. See it? Look at a bunch of cars in the truck. See that? How about that? And the men are working on the road up here. You see them? See them, Dick? Men working on the road?
They did a good job with that road.
Yeah.
It blends right in.
But highways like that are all over, isn't it? All over the place.
Here. Isn't that pretty?
And there's a tunnel.
Yeah, one way.
Okay. Mighty pretty highway here. Uh-huh. The Glenwood Canyon. 15 miles.
Perhaps the most famous canyon on the Colorado River here in the state of Colorado. The natural beauty of the canyon, I think, speaks for itself, so I will talk of some of the man-made features. For instance, just a little while ago, there was a dam out the right side of the train. That is the Shoshone Dam, which went online, I believe, in 1907 to harness the flow of the Colorado
Oh, kayaker. Look at the kayaker.
With a street light from the city of Denver, even though Denver is now about 150 miles behind us as the crow flies. Today the Shoshone Dam is one of the oldest and most upstream of a veritable playground dams along the Colorado. In fact, so much water is diverted from the Colorado River for so many purposes downstream that it is even one of the most overmanaged rivers in the world. In fact, so much water is taken out of the river, especially.
Oh, look at the rafters.
There's a mine here. Look at the mine.
Look at the rafters down
Las
there.
Vegas and Phoenix. But in many seasons, by the time the river reaches the Gulf of California in Mexico, it is little more than a dry gulch. Don't think that is controversial with the Mexicans. Historically, as it is today, the most controversial natural resource in the West is not gold, not silver, not coal, lumber, uranium, it's water. And we see evidence right here. The industrial complex we saw on the right side of the train with two beige pipes emanating from the canyon wall a moment ago. That's the power station associated with the Shoshone Dam. And the two primitive alternators at that power station are still in their humble way contributing electricity to the much large electric power grid of the Intermountain West. The superhighway you see on the right side of the train speaks to the transportation history of Glenwood Canyon. That's Interstate Highway 70, which we picked up when we passed Cerro, and which will be seen along sometimes here, sometimes far all the way to one of the Wasatch Mountains in Utah, which we reach in Helper, Utah later on this evening. The first people to approach this canyon, the first non-native people, the explorers and prospectors, back in the mid-1800s, pronounced it impassable by any means of transportation, not even birch bark canoe.
I wonder what that memorial's there for.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as we're traveling alongside the Colorado River here, we're 10 minutes away from our next stop for Glenwood Springs, Colorado. There'll also be a fresh air stop and a smoke break. If Glenwood is your final destination, at this time return to respective seat private accommodation. When our train comes to a complete stop, go to the center lower level portion of your car for each train.
Wow.
That's a nice camping spot.
It's a wonderful camping spot as long as somebody doesn't trip in the water and get carried away. That's pretty swift current out there. Boy, look at the heat. They're overhanging the water there.
I hope he's got the front end of that train.
I hope so. That looks pretty treacherous.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you look out the right side of the train, you'll see a little town here that is an example of a certain amount of black imagination. It's all sorts of colorful history and colorful scenery in Colorado to stimulate the minds of people who are tasked with the business of naming a town. But there's always some dunderheads who, when confronted with that issue, don't know what to do, so they did what the people in the town you see out the right side of the train did. They named their town No Name.
No
That's
name.
right, you are actually looking at No Name, Colorado. So, question about the source of the name.
Oh, look at the rafters.
Glenwood Springs. That word springs in it. That is very important. The presence of hot vapor caves, jump of hot springs bubbling out of the earth, the product of volcanic activity, has been a feature that's made this place notable for thousands of years.
They got a rafter out of the raft.
Indigenous people of what would become Colorado used this world's largest spring spread actually heated outdoor all-weather mineral water pool.
Here's Glenwood Springs.
Which we'll see out the right side of the train as we come into town.
They've added a
We
water
also built
park
in conjunction with the Hot Springs Pool, the Colorado Hotel. Both of these features completed in the early 1890s, and both today as popular with people of all social climes as they were with the wealthy and famous people of society in the 1890s, the Gilded Age of the 1890s, and the 1910s before World War I. Well, this and the proverbial much more here at Glenwood Springs. Let's stop right now here on the route of Amtrak California's up.
We're going to get off. You want to get off?
Nah.
Dad, where's your little thing? I want to see the schedule.
Your little thing.
As it's
No, it's
her.
yours. I picked it up for you.
This
I
is
figured you'd
Glenwood
like it, but then I'll always
Springs.
borrow it, huh?
Glenwood Springs.
We're supposed to leave here 15 minutes ago.
It looks fancier than it did when we were here. When was it? When were we here? 20 years ago? 15? You remember?
Did y'all come through here with us?
Yeah.
Another time. But she was really bad before we. Were you able to get off here? I didn't hear.
You want to go out?
I wouldn't mind.
Let's go.
Okay, I'll take the...
Amazing how quick
Are
things
those
come back.
burned up
Yeah,
there?
they're definitely burned.
14 fire jumpers were killed in a fire here.
And yeah, the more boxes she gets, the more you win. I've got to do it fast because
Grandma.
oh, right here. Well, Grandma's doing now. Grandma's doing everything. Here's just a whole bunch of boxes.
It looks like it's in rows though, isn't it?
No, it's just the way the erosion is.
Radiate it.
You gotta get a whole bunch.
If you don't get a whole bunch, then the other person does, then where you lose.
Yeah. It's kind of like the. Oh no! What did I do? Let's do it again. We haven't done.
Colorado.
Grand Valley.
The next station stop, Grand Junction, being our last stop in Colorado. We are now in one of the central geological features of the Grand Valley, that is the Quebec Canyon. The Quebec Canyon bears the name of Dr. Wallace Quebec back in the 1880s. He was treating cattle ranching. More often than not, though, he was distracted from this pursuit by fellow ranchers who sought out his services as a medical doctor. It seems that while ranchers were pretty profuse by this time, medical professionals were decidedly few and far between out here in this wilderness. As a matter of fact, for many years on into the early 20th century, Dr. Quebec was the only medical practitioner of any kind for either human or veterinary.
You want to go downstairs? There you go, very light. Just put one in. Oh, you're still doing this? Well, because we gotta show him that you gotta finish.
Yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs.
Downstairs to do what? My goodness, Grandma's just going to town. I just got to work.
What do you need, eh? Hi, Mom. Yeah, Hey guys. Hey. Hi, you're in Grand Junction?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, you better hurry. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Woo!
Bye-bye.
Hey, yeah, goodbye.
Elevation is about 4,000 feet above sea level. So we are now considerably lower than the mile-high altitude we.
Okay, Meg, Kathy, here's the cancer.
You like scenery?
Usually indicates why it is called Ruby Canyon. For its distinctive reddish hues, although of course in much more.
Yeah.
As I said, the Ruby Canyon is our last Colorado River canyon. It also marks the last in Colorado.
And this one is
A little farther up the line, we cross the border from the centennial state of Colorado into the beehive state of Utah. To the northwest, we will begin to climb out of the valley of the Colorado River. In Westwater, we will cross
Ruby
the border
Canyon.
to Utah. And shortly after leaving the canyon, we'll see the last of the Colorado River as we climb out of its valley and head into the Colorado Plateau of Utah. The next state on our route of Amtrak's California zone.
Oh, somebody's sitting there, honey. Somebody's sitting there. You can sit there, honey.
You captured it on
Thank you.
video. They had snow 2 nights ago.
Oh,
Was that
now
one?
that, well, of course, you like to ski.
Oh, I did. 72 days this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that works out. Although we was talking on the cards,
Look at Campbell's hair, Spungo. Isn't that beautiful? She's watching Dumbo. And her hair's just blowing in the wind here. It sure looks like.
A few minutes ago.
Here on my cell phone, I got all these messages. We can't bring it back up or something, you know. And
We're in Utah now.
Put this back in there.
Huh?
And then he can't. Then the phone. Yeah.